What's up, guys? Maritime Spook here, and you guys may remember this knife from a couple videos ago, and this is the Brisa Hiker 95. It's become one of my favorite little bushcraft knives. Just a great blade shape, great, very ergonomic handle. Going to be a great knife to take around in the wintertime. Just a great overall knife. A little bit dirty because I've been using it for this project I'm about to show you, and Immaculate leather sheath with a dangler. Really like this knife, guys. Check one out. I'm going to put a link in the description to Brisa, the Finnish company, and they also make the Enzo line of knives, which are excellent, but this Hiker 95 is in a league of its own for that kind of lightweight hiker. That's why it's called the Hiker 95, hiker / bushcraft knife to take out on hikes and just everything in between. Just a great knife. So what we're going to do with it today, guys, I liked making that video, and some other people really liked it too, with making the fish spear the other day. So we're going to make today an L7 spring up, the parts for an L7 spring up snare. So what I already did, guys, just so I could measure this to make it quicker so the video is not 25 minutes long, I actually made the anchor stick already, which is probably the easiest part of the two. So you make your notch, what they call an L notch or a 7 notch or L7 notch, and you go in and clean that out like that, and then you've got this notch for the other notch to catch onto, and then you sharpen the end of it, because this of course will be the anchor stick. So we need to make another notch now, or another stick, guys, that will match, line up to this notch wise. So we'll do that right now. We'll try it, and first thing we're going to do, take the knife, and we're going to make a couple stop cuts. And a stop cut is just to cut across like this, and then we're going to make another one underneath of it, and that's going to be the basis for our notch. Okay, and this is a great knife, guys, for notching. I learned the hard way to go down on the stick a little bit, because this is a very sharp knife, and I was actually cutting the top of this off with the pressure I was applying, because it's very sharp. It's a great notcher. So it was actually it was notching too well, we'll put it that way. So I like to make the notch not as big at first, and then that way I can measure how good they're going to line up. So I made that in there like that, guys. And see, this one's going to have to, it's going to have to come in a little bit, but that's okay, or come up a little bit, sorry. So what I'll do is I'll make this a little bit higher, which is just make another little stop cut a little bit higher up, and then clean out that section of the notch. But this is great, guys, to show people, do these projects with kids, like I mentioned in the fish spear video, and just get acquainted with the knife. A lot of people will get a knife, and they haven't really used it very much, and then they may take it on a trip, and then they find out that's not quite the knife they wanted for that trip, or it's just not quite the knife they wanted at all, because they didn't do anything. These are little projects that anybody can do in the deepest of rural areas like I am in, or right in city limits. So really good little thing, and a good sharp tool will get you a long way in this type of thing. So that's why I love this little Brisa knife. Great knife and great people to talk to. So you can see where what we're working with there now, guys. And I'm going to take this notch up a little bit more, and that's what you do, is you just keep going until you fit it in the right way, like I do. Some perfect bushcrafter might go right in first time and totally make the notch the perfect way. I've gone in, as I said, guys, and I'm kind of just feeling for how the notch is going to work. Well, that's what's good about this nice sharp tool, is I can get in there and just keep taking nice spots out. Okay, so that will work. I'm going to bring this up still yet a little bit more, but it's getting there, guys. It's getting there. So I'm going to pause this, guys. I'm going to bring this up a little bit more, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, guys, so there are much nicer and better looking notches that people have done for 100%, but this is going to work, and I'm just going to take another little piece off here and there to make it more of a custom fit, we'll say. But you get the gist of it, guys. Make the L7 notch, and that's the beauty part of it. Is this is probably only the first few that I've made like this, and I've focused on using this knife for all of them. So that's one thing I really like, is I'm able to get used to the knife better, but in a way that's actually useful in the field. So that's fitting together quite nicely. So what I will do now, guys, is I will to get the next cut in here that it needs to cut, and that will be for 2 notches on here to go around for your cordage, because of course this is going to have cordage on it. It's going to have cordage coming off of the spring pole, and it's going to have a snare attached. So we're going to need to make 2 circular notches. Make them up about so far. So same thing, our same stop cuts that we were making before. And I'll make another one to go around like this. And these can be a little more, like I said, that's rounded the whole way around. And these can be a little more any way you, or sort of the way you want them, because if they're not the right length, you can add a little bit more cordage, and add and subtract cordage. So you can make these a little bit more, like the other notches they have to fit together. It's not going to work if they don't. These, you can make them a certain way, and they'll basically will still hold the cordage. And you see how I did that? I just cleaned out the notches of my stop cuts, and then as you can see, we've got a little area now where that cordage can go. So that's the first one. And these can be, obviously, I will probably go back and clean these up a little bit better. So that's the first one that's going to come off of our spring pole. And this second one down a little bit more is going to hold our snare. So we'll start doing that one. Same thing. Turn around stop cuts the whole way around. Yet another one, whole way around. And this Brisa knife is just perfect for this, guys, with the Scandi grind. Super sharp. 12C27 steel, so a very good steel. So there, we've gone across that one. So now, same thing, we'll go on the top of our stop cut, and we'll just turn it around, and you can even see that's coming off just like an apple peel. With a very sharp knife like this Brisa, the Hiker 95 is very good at getting in and getting these little pieces out and cleaning out our notches. So there, we've got our snare portion carved out. So this is what we're working with, guys. We've got our notch, our 2 cordage areas, our anchor fit in like so. So let's get over to a sapling and we'll try this thing out. Okay, guys, we got it set up. That was a lesson in patience, but it's actually pretty cool. I've never really tried to make it this whole way before, and I figured I'd do it just around the house, because that way when you get out and actually would try it, if you really had to, you've already got it down pat. So what we did here, guys, is we've got our cordage hooked to our spring pole willow, our willow tree back there. You can see that as I pull this, it's attached to that. This is our trigger stick, and I have the snare attached on the bottom rung, and I have the spring pole attached on the top rung right here. So that's the top one there I put in. There's the second one, and here is our L7 at the bottom. I had to refine that quite a bit. So we'll go down here and we can set it. And now it's set. Bring our snare around to the front right there, and I'll get a stick and we'll set this thing off, and I'll show you how this works. So here we go, guys. The unsuspecting hiking pole comes in, gets caught in our snare, walks along, doo-doo-doo, and this is just a normal little knot. And it's attached. So that was really cool, guys. Actually, I didn't set it so it was going to fling the hiking stick 30 feet in the air, just to show you, but making these triggers and whatnot is a lot of fun. I'm going to play with this a little bit afterwards and make a little different make a little bit different setup. But that was just a lot of fun, guys. I've of course used the Brisa Hiker 95 to do everything with it, guys, and that's what I'm going to do from now on with different knives, especially even this one, is make projects the whole way through with that particular knife. That way you're not using 15 different tools. And I mean, I did use a folding saw to make the little pieces. I could have easily cut them with this myself without even using the Holden saw. But just to, like I said, just to speed it up a little bit. But that was a lot of fun, guys. Check out this Hiker 95. Great knife, guys. And stay tuned for more videos. We're going to do some other crafts with this. And I greatly appreciate, you know, all the views. And Brisa is a great company. I'm going to put a link in the description. And we'll go from there, guys. So that was Spook's spring up snare made with the Brisa Hiker 95 and some number 36 bank line. Stay safe, guys.